This is about our trip to Torres del Paine at the southern end of Chile. That is the largest glacier field in South America. We arrived on Sky Airlines at a little airport called Puerto Natales, and we were met there by our guide and taken from Puerto Natales, which is at the south end of this map, along Route 9 up north about 30 miles to where we were staying, Estancia Cerro Guido, a very large sheep station, about 250,000 acres spread out across the pampas. This is the road we took, Ruta del Fin del Mundo to Cerro Guido, and this is our group, 5 of us, together for the entire trip. You can see the Andes in the background and the pampas spread out, bare, no trees, wind blowing all the time. A lot of wildlife. This is guanaco. They're like llamas, the same family, and there's so many of them everywhere. Rheas, kind of like ostrich, very little flight, big birds. Signs like that on the road to watch out for them. This is the local goose. It's called the upland goose. Beautiful birds. The caracara, which is somewhat kind of vulture, falcon, I'm not quite sure. Again, many of them on the fence posts along the way. You saw so many, and then they would swoop down on the fields. Red fox hunting in the field. We saw him catch a bunch of little things. He dived down into the holes to get them. We also saw armadillos, but no photograph. And we were also always, of course, passing through farming, where the farming is they are harvesting the grass to make into hay for winter fodder for the sheep that during the summer live high up in the mountains and come down when the snow comes. When we reached our estancia, we met with the guide, and she helped us plan the various trips that we could take. Her name is Aurélie. She's from France, and she comes down every year to the estancia for guiding. The first day, we took a trip to the Torres del Paine Park itself to see this enormous glacier field. So we came from Estancia, which is in the top right, and on Route 9 down, and then turned into the park, and all dirt roads everywhere, bumping along on these dirt roads between glacier lakes and mountains. So again, here's our group now. We are in the park, and you can see the landscape behind us. We were very, very lucky to be able to see the tourists themselves right in the middle in the background. It is possible to hike up to them, but there's no way to drive to them. And these are the tourist moody mountains, often hidden by fog. And then we went past the Torres to see the Cuernos across the lakes, waterfalls, rivers, and this green but very treeless landscape. The scenery was grand. You can see the glaciers coming down. There were more glaciers in other places. And then the guanaco everywhere, of course. The wind holding onto a hat. In some places, the wind was so strong that we had to bend down double and not get blown away. And sometimes it was peaceful and nice, which is one of the few places where we found some trees. This is Kulan and me. And just to show you the estancia where we stayed, it's a huge sheep farm, kind of like an Australian outback sheep station, almost 250,000 acres. And it's a working sheep farm where they showed us a lot of what they do. But it also has In the old manager's building and a few other buildings, they have inserted a hotel, small one, 12 people, very luxurious, very, very nice to stay there. This is the building we stayed in. It had about 6 rooms, and some of the rooms in there, here they were talking with one of the guides. The restaurant, as you can see, just these few tables, and the food itself was delicious, very 5-star. Wines were all local. Our wine mistress giving us our cocktails which we requested. The food, they just enjoyed decorating the food, and all the decorations here, by the way, are actually grown in their kitchen garden. Walking to the room, holding my key, which I promptly lost. And this is the kitchen garden. You can see a lot of the basil in the background, the onions, some of the seedlings that they have planted, the cabbages that are growing, the irrigation method. I learned a lot about how they do their composting. And then we went for horse riding. This is a typical gaucho style saddling of the horse, very simple. And you actually hold the reins differently and very light touch on the reins. The saddlery, all the leather is maintained by the gauchos themselves. So if they're not actually out riding or herding the sheep, they're maintaining the tack. So we rode out over the pampas. It's trackless. It's just trackless. You go. If they left me alone, I might not find my way back. So there's Mateus in front leading us out over the pampas. And as we went, the rains came. So we found this caravan. They have these caravans in different places, outposts. We found the caravan that got in there and got. Aurelie was very kind. She had brought hot tea with us. She knew what was going to happen. And we had hot tea in the caravan while we waited out the rain. We came out and there was this rainbow. And so we just stood there and took in the scenery, the mountains coming and going, the rainbow, and then the fog that just came right in, hid everything and rolled over us. Kara up in the trees. And then we are back on our horses. Aurelie took this photo of the 5 riders, and now you can see the mountains again. And we made our way back to the Estancia. You can see us here. Really enjoying this ride. And when we got back, Mateus showed us how he herds the sheep. He whistles, and the dogs go get. They cut out that one sheep, they brought the sheep back, change direction, get the sheep running, moving fast. Stopped them, and then turned them back. And these are sheep being herded down from the mountain. There are 10,000 sheep. It used to be 90,000, but the market for wool has gone down so much. And then just a last view of the beautiful mountains, Torres faintly visible under the fog. And Kulan talking to his horse.